Welcome to the installation department here in Salem, New Jersey. I'm Jason Heisen, Mannington Residential Product and Installation Manager. And today we're going to look at a complete video of the new Apex Hexagon tiles. In today's video, we're going to cover three main topics. The new M-Grip adhesive. Also new are Apex Hexagon tiles. Patented, really cool grouting shelf here. And then, of course, the final topic we're going to cover is our grouting process that will be required for the Apex Hexagon. M-Grip is our new modified acrylic hard set adhesive. This will be replacing MT711, which has been a great adhesive for us for over 2 decades. However, new technology that has come out recently, this is a dynamite adhesive. It's got features that are far superior in shear strength, moisture resistance, working time. It's just a fabulous glue. What we're going to use this for is we're going to use it on our ADURA Apex Hexagon product, which is glue down, obviously our ADURA Flex, our new ADURA Pro Loose Lay, LVS sheet, and then our Mannington main products, LVT glue down and vinyl back sheet. You might notice this cool new logo on the M-Grip bucket. And what this is our brand new Mannington 360 brand that we're excited to launch. This encompasses all of our current sundries. You'll see new branding with those sundries rolled out, and also some really cool new products, including this. I mentioned all the products that M-Grip's going to be used for, which is awesome. Now, to get the specific coverages and trowel size and recommendations, you're going to have to go to those individual installation instructions, because M-Grip can be used with 3/8 snap roller, a 1/32 by 1/32 by 1/16 trowel. Also, in the case of our ADURA Apex Hexagons, a 16 by 16 by 16 notch trowel. So you're going to see coverages range from as low as 150 with the Hexagons, but all the way up to 350 square feet per gallon if you're using the 3/8 snap roller method. Also, flash times and working times are going to vary slightly. So again, please see individual installation guides to get all those details. Before we get started, I'm going to take a second to talk about this Apex Hexagon tile and the layout within the room. This tile is really cool. It's got a built-in patented grouting ledge and spacer. So when you put these together, it's going to create a 3/16 consistent grout joint. Now, when it comes to layout, it may seem more complicated because it's a hexagon, but it's really not. We can simplify it and go by kind of 2 really main dimensions here. It's roughly 12 inches wide, and then the length is about 13.5 from point to point. So if we use those dimensions as we're laying our room out, and you can see we have some lines already marked on the floor, we can avoid any small geometrical shapes on major walls by balancing out the installation in the room. I want to take a second to talk about the importance of substrate flatness. This product, the Hexagon, is a 5mm thick product. Great product, glue down product, LVT construction, so it is flexible. It's a flexible glue down. However, it's not as flexible as our 2.5mm ADURA Flex product. So substrate flatness is extremely, extremely important. Industry standard, our standard is no deviations greater than 3/16 of an inch over a 10-foot span. It's another reason that we require the full 16 by 16 by 16 adhesive spread under it. That gives us a little more adjustability and flexibility for the substrate, but it is an important part of the installation, is to have that. So we've given the adhesive proper flash time or open time. It's been about 15 minutes, and it's becoming tacky. It's darker in color. As we begin the Hexagon tile installation on our already marked out predetermined lines, another advantage to these tiles is they're not directional. There's no arrows on the back of here, so that gives us a little more flexibility to mix up our patterns and keep things just, as variable as we can as well. So I'm going to set on that line here and keep my point on this line. That's our reference marks. So what's nice is I have a little bit of room here to kind of shift it around where I need it, right? And that tells me that I'm really going to get good transfer to the back of those tiles. So what's nice about these is they're going to butt tight to each other, creating that grout joint that we talked about. Very consistent grout joint. And I'm just going to make sure that these points here stay on my reference lines. Try to minimize any adhesive coming up through the grout joints. You can go back and clean it out later. You can also keep a rag with you, a little bit of denatured alcohol, so if anything comes up, you can clean it up immediately. Again, I'm making sure that I'm staying on these reference lines, point to point here. I'm on this point here, all the way up to this one, so everything's looking really good right now. If you're starting and stopping with the adhesive, it's okay. You're going to end up with open areas like this that we can come back, remove that adhesive and spread fresh adhesive as we continue the installation. The other important thing you want to do is you want to roll it as you go. We're going to use a minimum 75-pound floor roller or this J roller. Really good job. We want to make sure that we're getting transfer to the back of these tiles. It's always a good idea to check one. So we could put a tile in right here and then check it for transfer. Make sure that we're getting enough glue on there. And you'll see the difference. You'll see the difference that rolling will make. Have a hard time even pulling it back up. We see the transfer on the back of that tile. It can easily become a utility knife too. I'm going to turn it backwards, put a mark here on both sides. Always, if you're working on the floor, always have a scrap piece underneath, piece of plywood, something to cut on. But I'm just going to line those two marks up. Score it with a sharp utility knife. Let me score it twice just to make sure that I can get a good bend on it. Again, this is a 5mm glue down, so I'm going to flip that over, score the back, and then I can just set that right into place. ADURA grout's a pre-mixed grout that's specially formulated for LVT tile. You can see we have a few things that you'll definitely need: a quality grouting sponge, a grout float, a couple clean buckets of water. You want to have at least 1 bucket for every 50 square feet that you're going to do. Let's begin the process. The very first step is going to be to take a sponge, wring it out, and clean the floor. Really, we're just going to dampen the floor a little bit, which is going to help in the cleaning process of the grout. It's also going to remove any dirt or debris from the tile. As we begin the grout, because this is a pre-mixed grout, we want to work in small areas, smaller increments. You really don't want to grout any more than 12 square feet before you start cleaning it. So this is a grout and clean as you go process. Small amounts. The other critical thing with this grout is we want to pack it in both directions of the grout joint, right? So I want to come back and also push it in this way, right? Pack it to that side and that side. Because if we just pull it in one direction, we're going to pack it tight to the edge of this tile, but pulling it away from that tile. So it's important to go back and do it in both directions. You can come back and use the edge of the float to remove the excess grout from the surface. That's going to make your initial cleanup a lot easier. Again, it's important to clean as you go. You don't want the grout to sit for any longer than 8 minutes before you put the initial wipe on it. And it's okay to put the initial wipe on it before then. The grout setup time, again, just like adhesive, it's going to vary depending on ambient conditions, temperature, humidity, the porosity of the tile, things of that nature. So with the first wipe, we want to keep the sponge flat. Not a lot of water in it. We're going to wring the water out of the sponge. It's just going to be damp. Keep it flat, and what we're looking for is we're going to smooth the tile and cut down to that bevel. We're going to cut down to the bevel on the grout joint right there, so that you have that nice consistent 3/16 of an inch grout joint. Clean the sponge out. Again, get as much water off of it as you can. You don't want to be dripping water all over the floor and in the grout joint. Now when you clean it, it's best to use it flat on one side, flip it over, and swipe it again. That's going to get the majority of the grout residue off of the floor. And now we can move on and grout some more. You do want to allow that some setup time. Let this grout become firmer here in the grout joints, because if I keep wiping it, I'm just going to pull more and more grout out. So we want that to set up some, and then we'll come back and put a final wipe on it to clean it off. So we're ready to do the final phase of the cleanup, the second wipe. We've allowed the grout to set up a little bit. It's starting to harden just a bit, so now when we wipe it, it's not going to pull grout back out and create more of a mess. So with the final cleaning process, we just want to wipe it with a damp sponge, flip it over, wipe it again, and we're going to wring that out. I have another one here, it's already clean. We're going to wipe it, flip it over, wipe it again. Once that dries, once that area dries, it's essentially completely done. You may have a little streak here or there that can easily be cleaned up with regular maintenance in a couple days. You want to wait a minimum of 48 hours before this floor is mopped or before it gets heavy traffic. So after 48 hours, normal cleaning will take care of any streaks or maybe just a little bit of haze that remains. If you notice some grout haze or even grout residue the next day, maybe an area got missed by mistake, it can easily be cleaned off with our Mannington Ultra Tile and Grout Cleaner and a microfiber cloth. This can be diluted 50-50 with some water. You can also use it full strength. I'm just going to pour a little bit here on the microfiber. You want to wait the next day to do this though, let the grout set up. But this product is going to take that haze and take that grout residue right off there. You can see just how well that works. We'll let that dry and that'll be completely good to go. So that concludes our demo on gluing, setting, and grouting ADURA Apex hexagons. As always, thanks for choosing Mannington, and we'll see you on the next project.